So, let's talk about some of the things that are terrible about Gen Y. Normally, we have a little complaint session. If we had a little more time, I'd let you do that because I think people here want to vent, and that's okay. But we're gonna walk through a couple things. First of all, Gen Y. Anybody would say Gen Y is entitled? They feel entitled? Yes. You don't have to raise your hand. But here's what I'm going to say: it's not entirely their fault. I don't know if you can see this where you are, but this is a little station wagon, and in the back corner here, there's this little sign that's yellow, has a triangle. Anybody know what it says? Baby on board. So this was invented or came out, was mass marketed in the early to mid 80s. And these parents, you put this on your car. And what you were telling people was, okay, other drivers, I want you to know there's a baby in this car. And this baby is so special that you need to realize when you're driving, don't be putting on makeup, don't eat your hamburger, watch where you're going, because this is my baby is so special that I have to let everybody else know that we have it here and you need to watch out for it. So ever since this was plastered in minivans and station wagons, millennials have sort of been raised that you're special. And so, now again, it's not entirely their fault, because they've been told this, that you're special, you deserve a special sign on our automobiles. So you can do special things, you can be anything you want to be. This is language that we've told them, until they go try out for American Idol, and they're ridiculed to their face and on YouTube for months later. And so this is what they've been told. They're just following what they've been told. And so one of the unique challenges, I think, that Neil Howe, who wrote the book Generation, says that he tells employers is that millennials are going to think this. They're going to show up thinking they're special. So then what you say as an employer is say, you are special. So we expect special things from you. And that's his way of putting it back on them to say, find out if you really think you're special, then let's see if that's the case, and let's help you, and let's work through this. So yeah, they do think they're entitled. It's not all their fault. They need to take more responsibility for that. So you can give them those challenges. If they want that responsibility, let's figure out how to do that in a constructive manner that's great for the organization and for everyone else. So they are entitled. We're not going to deny that. But this is how they kind of grew up. This is an actual game I found a picture of. It's the self-esteem game, the game where everyone wins. And again, this is what was told to them. They didn't just show up at your workplace and be like, you know what? I think today I'm special. They were told that, and so they don't think that, hey, everybody should win. They played whatever game this was in whatever elementary school this picture was taken, it exists. So Gen Y does believe in itself to do something great because they've been told you can do it, you can be anything you want to be, you're smart enough, you're all of this sort of self-esteem and self-promotion and all this kind of great, informative, psychological stuff was how they were parented. It's how they were taught. And so part of that also shapes their generational outlook. So they do believe in themselves. They think they can do something great. Now again, that relates to their place in history of being part of this heroic civic generation that's coming of age in this crisis. How do we fix these problems that are emerging, the housing crisis, the economic crisis, healthcare? How do we see all these problems that are out there, the war on terror? How can we fix those? How can we use our collective specialness and our ability to do something great to try and fix those? And that's the hope that I have for this generation, is that they will be able to work together to hopefully have some solutions to that. Because they know teamwork. So there's a picture taken at a prom. And so Gen Y has always been a part of a team. So as you know, you run places that have soccer leagues and basketball leagues and sports leagues where you encourage youth to participate with one another in teams. So they've always been a part of some kind of group. The generation has joined scouts and soccer leagues and baseball teams and dance classes in record numbers. They're always a part of something. In school, they're working together on science projects and book reports, and it's all about group work and teamwork. They're going to the prom in groups, which is great for a parent, because you'd rather them go to prom in groups than one-on-one or dates or any time out. Actually, let's just be with a bunch of people. That'll be better. And so they're doing stuff time and again in groups. So they're playing soccer in groups. Now, of course, and I did the same thing. I played Little League every year. And every year when the league finished, I got a trophy. That's right. It's not my fault, I'm telling you. Because I got a trophy that was gold. Plastic. It was gold, though, on the outside, and it had a little wood veneer base. It wasn't great, but it was my trophy, and it had my name on it. Now, I didn't realize that I only got the trophy because my mom paid the league fee, and I had a clean uniform every game. But I had a dresser full of trophies, and every Saturday I would dust my trophies. My mom was like, "What is wrong with this kid? How about we take that dust rag to the den and dust the mantle and other things?" Because I wanted to show off my trophies. These were my trophies, so I got an award for showing up. And people work for you, and they're wondering where their award is because they were on time last week, and that's what they're supposed to get a trophy now because they've always gotten a trophy. So you could try that. You could order some trophies. Next soccer order, just add 20 on for your employees. Just give them out. You'll be fine. Or we can encourage perhaps these teamwork efforts because they know that. They get that. So work assignments, volunteer projects, what can they do together? Because they can form a team and they can work together very quickly because they know how to do that. They've come of age working as a team. So find those projects that they can do together, and I think you're going to see some better results than forcing them or asking them to work alone as the situation demands it. Obviously, sometimes things can't be done in that way. Begin to think about what can happen in that way. Some neat statistics. So this generation is the most ethnically and racially diverse that's come along in a while. A lot of these stats are, as you can see, were taken from Pew Research. They have a great report on millennials in America that came out this past winter in January that's very much worth diving into. So you can see also a neat stat for you all. Obviously, this is the percentage that got vigorous exercise in the last 24 hours. So hopefully they're getting this vigorous exercise at one of your facilities or through one of your programs. So it is a generation that is conscious of their health and their fitness because it's something that is part of our culture, I think more so than it's ever been. Whether it's fitness products or fitness drinks or anything else, it's something that they are aware of. So another important statistic, Generation Y understands philanthropy and service. This is the first generation that has had service requirements placed upon their high school or college degrees. So in order to join a certain club or fraternity or have membership in some kind of group in high school or college, there might have been a prerequisite for service. So to join Honor Society as a high school student, I had to have 10 documented volunteer hours. It's not a lot, but it was something. For the baseball team every year in high school, we had to design as a team a community service project. So we did a car wash, we painted a room at a shelter. We did something that was required of us. But now schools have full-time employees who do nothing but program volunteerism for their students. So a lot of this is required, and there can be a downside to that. What we've seen is that students graduate college where all their service has been programmed for them. They just walk to an office or looked on a website. And so they get out into the real world, they have a job, and they say, okay, now who plans my service for me? And so they don't know as much about how to go find that opportunity because it's always been given to them. So there's an opportunity, I think, for employers or for YMCAs to be able to say, well, we can help you find those opportunities. We can list those, we can design those, we can program those, and that's a way to reach and stay in contact with this generation. But it's something who also already understands these words. They know what the word philanthropy means. They know what the word service means. They know what a volunteer opportunity looks like. So you can spend less time having to define that or justify that or sell that because they get it and it's something they want to do. You might have a little backlash when it's, hey, finally I'm free from college. I don't have to volunteer anymore, thank goodness. But a lot of them still want to do that. And the number of conversations that I have with young people who either want to work for a nonprofit or do something that matters, do something that has an impact, is very real. And so they're looking for those opportunities to serve.